Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So next week is the release of BT4, and with it, the meta changes once again. So it is currently being pulled in several different directions of which one's going to be the best between yellow War Greymon, or you have the green OTK, or just whatever, purple with its like multiple different avenues it can go. Lots of different like diversions going on here. But we're going to just focus in on green today, okay? Also, if you're wondering where today's match is, we had some scheduling conflicts, so we're just swapping this week's Wednesday and Tuesday video around. So the match will be out tomorrow instead, if you're wondering. But let's go ahead and get into this because I'm excited for BT4, okay? I am super excited for BT4, and we're going to get into these decks over the next few weeks and just really break down what's coming with the meta. And yeah, if you haven't figured it out yet, I am stoked, okay? I am stoked for this. These are going to be some powerhouses. Also, this month's memory markers are going to be Omnimon. So Omnimon is super adorable. Lots of yellow players out there running Omnimon right now, just because it's a great draw power, as well as blue running a lot of Omnimon because Omnimon has all the draw power for both those decks. So great, baby, a great addition for those decks. Okay, so if you want that, that's our Patreon reward for the month of June. So go down there in the description and check that out. This is the prototype so far. Okay, so if you're wondering what decks I'm talking about for green, right? So let's go ahead and just cover the first one. All right, this is like the one that everyone keeps talking about, and that's going to be OTK green, right? And what I mean by OTK is you're essentially going to punch for all 5 security of your opponents in one go, okay? So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we get out of this BT4 menu, right? I know it's kind of odd, but we're going to jump over here into the promos, okay? And the promos is kind of where we're going to start things off. So the big main thing that we're going to look at here is Grand Kuwagamon, and this is going to be in your dash packs. So your dash packs is 1 of 3, so you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting this with a dash pack, and you usually get 2 dash packs with 1 box. So your odds are looking pretty solid to start getting these guys relatively easy, because right now their pre-order prices are a little high. Alright, so his main ability here, he has a Digivolve 3, which is really nice. It really is. So Digivolution 3 with a Tamer in play, a Memory Fixing Tamer, when it comes to your turn, you can Digivolve into this guy and it still stays on your turn, so you can still attack with him when the same turn that you bring him out. So that's pretty important, moving ahead to the ones we're going to look at in a bit. But so main, Digiburst 2, one of your Digimon gains security attack +1. Alright. So essentially with this guy you can Digiburst twice. So you'll do your level 5, your level 4, and your level 3 and your level 2. And that'll give you a +2 security attack, probably on Grand Kuwagamon. Like the whole strategy is essentially to swing with this guy. Okay, so you're going to swing in, you're doing 3 security checks with this guy. Okay, that's pretty powerful. But 11,000 DP with 3 security checks, for all you that swung with Volcanic Dramon for a simple 2 security checks, you know how dangerous that can be with something so low. But with Palmon, this is what changes things, because originally in the Japanese meta, when Grand Kuwagamon came out, when BT4 released, they didn't have access to Palmon, okay? So we do from the get-go. They got it, I think it was like at the end of BT4, they finally got access to Palmon. But we get it right from the start, and this thing is what really makes this deck just absolutely crazy. Is your turn, when this Digimon is trashed, due to activating this Digimon's Digiburst, one of your Digimon gets jamming. So you're going to Digiburst this away, so you get rid of it. That's how you trigger this inheritable, is you actually have to Digiburst it away. You don't keep it like a traditional inheritable. You actually get rid of it, and for that one turn, you have jamming. So it gives your Grand Kuwagamon with its security attack essentially 3 security checks, so it's a +2. You get jamming, and that's really powerful. So that gives you 3 security checks. You don't need anything else to really get this combo going, which is kind of nice. It opens up your deck for more creative building, essentially. So Your level 5s and level 4s can be other things. So like a lot of your one-cost Digivolves are going to be pretty popular for your level 4s. Your level 5s, again, cheaper stuff, probably better options. Okay, you're thinking, okay, well, that's some stuff, but where are you getting all these other security checks at? Okay, so we're going to jump back in BT4 here. We're going to go take a look at Chaosmon, which is our new level 7 that we're getting here. So it has piercing. It's a green Digimon. It makes sense. Piercing, they kind of go hand in hand. Now, 6 memory cost. If you've already evolved into the Grand Kawagamon, you're at 0. Now you're going to play 6 to go into this Chaosmon. Thankfully, it has this amazing ability that lets it attack as soon as you Digivolve into it. So when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. So it's already attacked. The Grand Kawagomon's already attacked. Now it's unsuspending because you're Digivolving on top of the Grand Kawagamon. And then it can attack your opponent's Digimon. This effect allows you to attack unsuspended Digimon as well. So even if they don't have anything suspended, right, you can still attack anything you want. This is also a great way to just kind of clear a big threat. Chaosmon by itself is already really great because you just, like I said, you to clear big threats, which is really important. But in addition to that, you have the piercing here. So Grand Kawagamon's +2 security checks that it gave itself, that applies to the whole Digimon for the whole turn. So you Digivolve into this guy, and it's still your turn. You swing, you get that piercing off. That's 3 more security checks. So if you're playing against yellow and they recovered 1, right, and say they're at 6, you're still going to clear 3 more potentially. So that's 5 or 6 is what this can clear in one go. However, now that we've cleared how it works, now we're going to take a step back from it and look at the glaring flaws of this deck. Okay, and this is, now we're going to start looking at the things that kind of keep it from being like the absolute best, because right there, I mean, that felt pretty good, right? But the thing is, you can't win the same turn that you do this, okay? Unless your opponent literally puts you at 9 or 10, you cannot do this and win the same turn, okay? Because you're going to do 3 memory to Digivolve into the Grand Kawagamon, and then another 6 to go into the Chaosmon. Or you could, if you already had the Grand Kawagamon on field and you didn't the previous turn for whatever reason, you still need at least 6 memory to go into the Chaosmon and still be able to attack with something else for game, okay? And that's like the glaring issue of this. You cannot win the same turn that you do this combo typically. Like 9 times out of 10, you're not going to like also have enough memory to still be your turn to attack with something else. It's just not going to happen, okay? I know some people are going to go in the comments like, well, you could. Sure, you can. You can also win the lottery. But, okay, it's not that difficult. But, yeah, 9 or 10 memory. If you're playing against, like, Mega Zoo, sure, definitely possible to do it against Mega Zoo. But, yeah, so most often you can't win the same turn, which gives them time to come back. They can either recovery something on you, right? And as long as they keep recovering 1, that's just always going to be enough to stop you from pushing for game, okay? And that's incredibly frustrating, right? You can only use its ability to attack unsuspended Digimon 1 time, the turn it Digivolves. After that, you can't attack unsuspended stuff anymore. So things like piercing and stuff, they start to lose their value if you have nothing to attack into. So they can recovery. They can remove your Chaosmon from the field or whatever else it is that you have that's slowing them down. There's just gives them time, okay? And it's kind of dangerous in a glass cannon style deck where you're just trying to get up into that Grand Kawagamon with the Palmon underneath it as fast as possible, and then go into this Chaosmon and you swing for a whole bunch. I mean, like, you're building your deck kind of into this strategy, right? I mean, a good chunk of it. You're going to be running 4 Grand Kawagamons. You're going to be running 4 Palmons. At least 2 to 3 Chaosmons, okay? That's a healthy chunk, okay? And of your strategy, I should say. So you could suffer if they clear your Chaosmon before you could finish them off. So just keep that in mind, that it does have those kind of issues. As well as you really need that Palmon. You really need that 1 rookie to really get this going. So you might be waiting several turns of trying to get into this perfect build, right? Where you need that Palmon underneath that Grand Kawagamon, because at 11,000 DP, that is not much. There is plenty plenty of things in this game that have more DP than that. So, I mean, just kind of like looking at the other popular decks, looking at Black here. Black is definitely running Blastmon moving forward. That's going to be 13,000, right? You're looking at these purple decks. You're going to have your LadyDevimons as some decks. You're going to have your Plutomons. All these things are killing. All these things are killing your stuff. You got the Metal Garurumons, right? Other decks, you have the Nidhoggmon, okay? War Greymon. This is probably going to be the most played card in all of Digimon in BT4. It can kill you in security. Too many, like, mainstay cards that are in all these decks can kill you in security. So without Palmon, it gets really, really kind of iffy. So you got to be mindful of that when playing this OTK deck. That if you don't have the Palmon and you try to just swing in anyways, it may or may not go your way. Okay? Alright, so that's the OTK deck. It is powerful. You get that combo off, right? And you put your opponent on, like, the death's door, like, in just a very, very few turns. It doesn't take much. I mean, literally, if you go second, you're going to have memory to go in immediately into a level 5 and maybe even get out of memory fixing Tamer. You do that, literally, when it comes back to you on your second turn, you can get this combo off. Yeah, it's that fast. Literally, your turn 2, you can get them, get this entire combo off by turn 2. So yeah, it can go fast. The next deck we want to look at is going to be Nidhoggmon and Hercules Kabuterimon. In Japan, they kind of merged the two together. Here, you might consider separating them. The reason I say consider separating them is partly because of the hits that we took on the limited list, right? So we lost Hidden Potential. Hidden Potential making you be able to go into these massive level 6 costs for 0 memory, because Nidhogg normally is 5. The Hercules Kabuterimon I'm going to show you is 4. There are some massive Digivolution costs. So you got to be kind of careful when you use these, because you can't just be super reckless and keep playing Hidden Potential over and over, because you only have the 1 copy, so you got to make it count. So kind of separating the two, you can do like a Nidhogg control style, right? Which is, so you're going to Digiburst 4, so you're going to need all from baby all the way up to get this off, but suspend all your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 or less DP, right? Then place all your opponent's suspended Digimon on the bottom of their owner's deck in any order, and then trash all of the Digivolution cards. So it's kind of like Alter S, but honestly, it's better than Alter S. I mean, let's be realistic here, because Alter S, 1 is a level 7, so you have to go on top of a level 6. I mean, that's already a big stair step up into that. In addition to that, Alter S can't clear bosses, okay? So if it's de-digivolving 1, you digivolve a 7 into a 6, you're not removing it. You digivolve a 6 into a 5, most of the time you're still not clearing it. There's plenty of things that aren't 5,000 or less for Alter S to just nuke, okay? So you're really gonna have to, and even some level 4s you can't even clear of Alter S, okay? So Nidhogg, though, Nidhogg doesn't care. Also, you can combo with Nidhogg. So if you used other, you need to build multiple stacks here, but green kind of likes going wide, especially if you're using Digizorption, right? So you're Digizorptioning up into these for free, right? You can do like Lilamon to suspend something important. Say they left, you know, an Alter S or some sort of Omnimon or Millenniumon on field, and it's not suspended. You can go Lilamon to Digiburst to suspend it, and then in a separate stack, because you're Digizorptioning up right into these, you can go into Nidhogg and then make sure you clear that, in addition to clearing all this other stuff that they get to clear out. So Nidhogg, incredibly powerful for the control. Again, it is a level 6, which is good, so you don't have to do this trick into a level 7. Also, it has 13,000 DP, which is just kind of amazing, honestly. Any kind of level 6 that has over 12,000 DP, pretty good. He has a massive Digivolve cost, though, a 5 to do this, but his nuke is amazing. Alter S is a 6 Digivolve cost to do that. Nidhogg is only 5, so in a way, Nidhogg is still better. He's a level lower. He's a 1 memory less to digivolve into, and he has a higher chance of actually clearing big boss monsters. So Nidhogg is just like a better Alter S in several different ways. You combine this with Hidden Potential, it is a 0 cost to do everything that Alter S can do, but better. Yeah, Nidhogg is crazy. So you can build it to a deck that really focuses on control. So digivolving for cheap to get up, and in creating multiple towers, right? So you want to be able to get, stuff like Lilamon off while also being able to get the Nidhogg, because you can't use them together because you need all 4 Digivolution sources to use Nidhogg's ability. But still, it works, okay? Just really, really nice stuff here. Just different ways to combo to really get advantage of Nidhogg, making sure your opponent's stuff is suspended. Even stuff like Puppetmon. Puppetmon your opponent one turn, and then the next turn, you come back and their stuff's all suspended, and now you can go into the Nidhogg. Things like that. It's just very interesting. Now, you can either choose to combine him or separate him from the starter deck green, right? So we're getting starter deck green at the same time as BT4. In theory, right? Who knows with distribution and all that stuff. But Hercules Kabuterimon, right? Green has piercing. Already off to a great start there. Also, Digiburst 2 suspended one of your opponent's Digimon. Combine it with its own piercing, and that's great. That is a great just thing. He basically just sets himself up. You can control your opponent's board, right? You suspend whatever it is that's a nuisance, and you attack over it, and you get the piercing to trigger, and then you clear, security. So you don't have to worry about, okay, should I kill this piece here, or should I try to pressure the game state and reduce them by 1 security, right? And get them kind of like up against a wall here that they're going to lose soon. You don't have to make that choice between the two. Now, you just have a boss monster with piercing. A reliable boss monster with piercing. And what I mean by reliable is you don't have something like Boncho Stingmon, who you have to have certain stipulations met, right? With Hercules Kabuterimon, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's suspended, you just clear over it with your piercing. It's great stuff. And if you need to, you just suspend something that you need to clear. Yeah, he's great. 12,000 DP for a level 6. That's perfectly right on where we want to be. It's not 13,000, but he's also 1 less memory. Now, again, he is a 4 memory cost. This is not exactly ideal. If it was a 3, I would say green Hercules Kabuterimon is the way to go, 100%. If it was a 3 memory cost, I would wholeheartedly say it's better than OTK. But because of this, this deck dominated in Japan originally, but it had Hidden Potential at 4 copies. We don't have that. So whether this deck does great or not is to be seen still. Okay, I think he's still neat to run, maybe at like a 1 or 2 of, with Nidhogg. Nidhogg is your main focus of the deck, but also add in the Hercules Kabuterimon, just because they kind of play hand in hand together. And you need some punching power to go with the Nidhogg. Nidhogg is great for removal, but once he uses that, he's just a big body on field at that point. He doesn't do anything else. Whereas Hercules Kabuterimon, every round he's on field is another round of terrifying your opponent, of suspending something, blocking, whatever. They got to worry about Hercules Kabuterimon. Now, what's really cool about Hercules Kabuterimon is that he combos super nicely with Mega Kabuterimon from the starter deck also. And this inheritable is your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, trash the top card of your opponent's security. So it's almost like giving Hercules +1 security attack, which almost makes him on par with Grand Kawagamon. Almost there. Super, super close. And you're only Digibursting 2, right? So you don't need to clear your level 5 off. Whereas something like Grand Kawagamon, you have to Digiburst away all your inheritables. All your inheritables go away, and you don't get a benefit from any of them except for the Palmon. With Hercules, you only need to get rid of 2, and you can still benefit from the other 2. So set them up, ahead of time where you're thinking, okay, I'm always going to want to keep my level 5s around, or I'm always want to keep my whatever around. Or you can even just kind of mix and mash it, just whatever's relevant at the time, you know, keep it. So Mega Kabuterimon is incredible. Also, just like with the Chaosmon and Grand Kawagumon, you can do this same trick with Hercules, right? Go into Hercules, Digiburst 2, swing over something, get that piercing. You're essentially going to get 2 security checks, right? You're going to get the Mega to trigger first, which doesn't even flip it. You're not even attacking into it. So let's say it's an Alter S or an Omnimon, right? It just gets trashed. You go straight to the trash. You're not doing a security check with it. You just trash it, whatever it is. Gaia Force, doesn't matter. Just go straight to the trash. Very similar to like Gallantmon from the 1.0 times. And then you do your actual security check with jamming. And then you go into a Chaosmon. Chaosmon swings, clears something. Mega Kabuterimon clears another security away, and then does its piercing security check. So while you're not doing a full 5 clear, you are doing a 4 clear, which is still very, very reputable, as well as you're going to keep your inheritables. Okay, so keeping your inheritables can be huge depending on what it is, especially if they're doing like recovery or anything like that. The bad thing with the OTK deck is once they start recovering, you've already done your big blowout combo wombo, you know, thing, and you can't do those big checks anymore. So if they start doing any sort of recovery, you're just screwed. At least with once you have the Chaosmon on field, you'll still trigger the Mega Kabuterimon. You're still going to get your piercing off. You're going to be getting those clears with the Mega Kabuterimon, and then your piercing is going to go through. So you're still going to be doing at least 2 checks at minimum. Okay? At minimum, you're still getting the 2 checks with the Mega Kabuterimon route. Okay? But that's Hercules and Mega together with Chaosmon instead of the Grand Kawagumon and Chaosmon. And that's just kind of like the difference between the two. I think, you know, depending on your matchups is going to be a big factor in it, if they have recovery or not. But with yellow being the most played deck in BT4, expect a lot of recovery, okay? Just plain and simple, expect a lot of recovery. Also, kind of a neat thing you can use in addition to the Mega Kabuterimon, if you want to, you can run, you know, 4 copies of that, and then you can run 4 copies of Metal Tyrannomon if you want to really kind of maximize on that. You got to kind of really debate about it though, because you got to give up other level 5s to do this. But it is interesting. When this Digimon deletes one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon in battle, unsuspend this Digimon. Again, really great with Hercules. Hercules can Digiburst 2 away, keep the Metal Tyrannomon underneath, suspend whatever level 6 it is, swing into it, do its piercing, right? It'll unsuspend, so you can attack again if you want. So you could still technically get 2 security checks. You will have to actually attack into the security though, unlike Mega Kabuterimon, who is just sending it away to the trash. This, you actually have to attack it. However, you can get multiple bodies off field, which is nice. So you swing, clear the level 6, unsuspend, swing, clear something else, go into Chaosmon, swing, clear something else, right? Unsuspend again if they have a second level 6 on field perhaps. Now, you'll pass your turn more than likely after that, but then you'll have your Chaosmon unsuspended, so they can't come and clear it back super easily. So, just a neat little trick you can use with Metal Tyrannomon. Definitely very interesting. You're still going to get multiple security checks, right? Not as many, but still pretty interesting. Also, if you don't have the Chaosmon in hand, your Hercules Kabuterimon is still going to round after round be doing multiple security checks, clearing multiple things every turn. Very interesting, like how these interactions work together are just really nice. Just Hercules always setting up what he wants to swing into, and either whatever level 5s you have underneath are going to benefit from him clearing stuff. That is a very cool way to go with green. Again, the shortcomings of it though, these are some beastly cost Digivolutions, okay? That 4 Digivolve for Hercules Kabuterimon is huge, okay? So more than often, you're not going to be able to attack the same turn that you bring him out. kind of a problem. If you go all the way up into him in the raising area, at least he's protected, so then the next turn he comes out, you can start doing some damage with him. But if you are smart and you save your hidden potential for the turn that you're ready to bring him out, suspend something else to bring him onto the field. So even if it's like a 2 play cost rookie, right? Green has tons of 2 play cost rookies. Hard play one of those, play hidden potential, suspend it, and then you go into your Hercules, right? So essentially it's kind of like making him like a 2 cost evolution in a way, because you're hard playing the 2. So it still kind of gets the same effect, right? You can go into this big guy and start swinging this in the same turn that you Digivolve into him. Just a way to kind of mitigate it a little bit. But that's only one card in your whole deck that's going to do that. And if you blow it on the Hercules Kabuterimon, you can't use it on your Nidhogg, okay? And also, if you're going with the Nidhogg like combination route, you might not want to make all your level 5s those the 2 that we talked about, right? The Metal Tyrannomon and the Mega Kabuterimon. If you want to use Nidhogg, you might not want to use those guys. So it'll be like kind of finding a balance. That's why I said you might want to split the 2 decks and make them like 2 separate strategies. With the Hercules Kabuterimon, you can, instead of running the Nidhogg with him, you can run like Bancho Stingmon, because Bancho Stingmon really likes the piercing, okay? And once he goes into for that turn, right, he's going to keep those benefits. So let's go look at Bancho Stingmon right quick. Alright, so he's got piercing. Great, we already like that on a level 6. 3 cost to Digivolve, so we can Digivolve into him and attack in the same turn that we bring him out. But when attacking, if you attack an opponent's Digimon that has 12,000 DP or more, this Digimon gets plus 7,000 DP and plus 2 security. Okay? For the turn. If you use this combination again, right, either the Metal Tyrannomon, right, or whatever, as long as you get it on that first swing, you attack into something big on that first swing, then you unsuspend, and you still have these buffs, right? This carries over into Chaosmon, okay? This carries over into Chaosmon. He keeps these buffs for the turn, right? This Digimon, okay? Does that not sound amazing? Your Chaosmon is getting a plus 7,000 DP buff to go up to 21,000, and it's going to have its security tag plus 2. Yeah, Bancho Stingmon can do the same OTK shenanigans that Grand Kawagamon can, okay? And he's just a neat little include. You can just include him with other deck strategies, which is great. So Bancho Stingmon's still sticking around in BT4, not getting dropped anytime soon. So I love this, and so you need something to attack into. Combine him with the new Lilamon, the level 5 with Digiburst. Digiburst that 12,000 DP, so you can attack into it, right? And then go into your Bancho on top of the Lilamon and swing over it. Just great stuff. You can't use the special little untap thing, but again, you're going to be doing 3 security checks, right? And you're going to go onto the Chaosmon on top of it, which will get you the 3 more security checks, because his plus 2 security is going to go into that as well. So make sure you think about that. Very, very cool combos with Bancho and Lilamon. And that's one of the things I didn't like about the Grand Kawagamon, is that you're not going to be very strong. You need to rely on the Palmon to get that jamming, okay? If you don't have that, it's super risky. And then you go into the Chaosmon. Whereas this, you get to go into the Lilamon, suspend what you want, right? So if they have a blocker on field, you can suspend the blocker and then go into the Bancho and clear over a 12k that might be suspended already, okay? Now, again, it takes some requirements on your opponent's part to need a 12k on field to get this off. But I'm just saying, include Bancho with Hercules. Hercules is going to be your main focus, but if you can't go into Hercules and you have Bancho and there's a setup in play, let's run 2 Bancho, okay? Just to have it in hand at 2 copies, you should be able to get 1 into hand every game at some point. So by the time they get that 12k on field, you can go into the Bancho and swing with it. That's an awesome setup. It opens the deck up, and that's what I like about it, is that you can go into multiple strategies that it's all doing the same thing. Hercules and Bancho do the same thing, they just do it a bit differently. Bancho has the power to get the OTK strategy, same as Grand Kawagamon, or Hercules has the potential just to keep sticking around and clearing security even if they're recovering. See what I mean? So I really like the what I'm leaning towards is Mega Kabuterimon at 4 and Lilamon at 4. And then Hercules probably at like 3, Boncho at 2, and then throw in a couple Nidhogg's in there, you know, to kind of round out the deck. And you have a nice, diverse control, OTK, and just consistent damage. All 3 of those in one deck, whereas the OTK deck can only do 1, and it might not even work. So now that I've just infuriated half the player base, please put in the comments if I missed something. Let me know, okay? If just something in my argument didn't sound right and you want to kind of show me where I might have messed up, definitely let me know. If you think that OTK is better, still let me know what your thoughts are, because I'm definitely open to play both. I will probably play both strategies, honestly. I will definitely plan on playing both versions of green. I'm just letting you know what my preference was that I think is going to be more powerful, but I am definitely going to try the OTK strategy as well, because I am honestly curious. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it is as powerful as it seems on paper. I'm just kind of not really sure. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoy this type of content, I try to put it out as much as possible, so definitely subscribe. Also, if you really enjoyed the content, check out my Patreon. I have a link in the description below for it. You can get access to my Discord server, as well as if you're a Dragon Village M fan, account takeovers where I help you out with your account. If you're a Digimon fan, I've got monthly giveaway. Well, not even giveaways. I've got monthly merch that's specific to Patreon. Stuff like memory counters, custom made. This is the baby form of Vmon here. There's gonna be more in the works also, so lots of memory counters, all kinds of awesome Digimon merch. So definitely check out that tier. And if you're just all out crazy, there's other tiers if you're that dedicated. As well as check out my Teespring. I've got awesome merch there, you know, official Battle Ready Ink merch. Awesome phone cases for you Digimon fans out there. They've got them for iPhones as well as Samsungs. So they are super sweet. If you've seen the last Digimon movie, that's where these are from. I had a friend of mine custom make these so that way they fit perfectly on these phone cases. They look super good. So definitely check those out. But at the end of the day, if you can't do any of that, just like I said, like the video. That helps a ton. And subscribe. It doesn't hurt, but it helps me. So that's what's the real benefit. And as always, I'll see you next time.